Dan RadioStyle, hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. It's fun how shows come. Sometimes they come in comments, sometimes they come as requests, sometimes they're emails, sometimes it's random stuff that happens in the world, and sometimes I'm just kind of looking around, looking stuff up, trying to come up with an idea, and I find something that's kind of a bit of a nugget. And today, I think I've got a little bit of a nugget for you. Field of Dreams. Now, it's not just an interesting movie where a guy mows down his cornfield and puts a baseball diamond in the middle of, Iowa or wherever the heck he was. Nope, something a little better, totally ties to law of attraction. And actually, I think when you kind of start to understand how this field of dreams works and how we interact with it, and it's really simple. I mean, literally, there's a field of dreams around us. All right, we're going to get into what that is. It's not a big deal. It's just a fun way to call it something that you probably already call it many other things. But it's how we interact with that field of dreams that's around us that makes a difference. And believe it or not, that's simple too. Simple, we've got to pay attention to what's going on, and it's also simple to screw up, but it's simple. It's simplistic in the way it works, in the mechanism. Not complex, don't need to be a rocket scientist, don't need to understand quantum physics and the states of atomic decay or valence electron orbitals or valence shells. I think that's what they're called. I'm pulling crazy random stuff out of my where from long ago when I was in college. So Field of Dreams, what it is, it's the energy matrix, if you will, that's around us. It's the energy matrix. There's energy all around us. I think it was Einstein. Hang on, I probably got it. Oh, it's got to be here. Where is it? Would have been so cool if I could have pulled that up. I have an Einstein quote in here somewhere that talks about how all matter is energy. And it really is. It's subatomic particles that are vibrating, right? And they vibrate very, very quickly. It's that energy. It's that wave energy that's going on through it. And all of that is surrounding us. So that's what that field is. And this field is where atoms and electrons and all these things can coalesce. They can bounce off each other. You get things called ions in solutions, right? And they're attracted to each other, right? All of these things are natural components of the way the universe works. So we've got this energy matrix around us, and we are basically like magnets. Law of attraction talks about attracting. Attractive force would be considered or akin to a magnet. Magnets attract. Magnets attract. Now, in the case of magnetics, it attracts kind of the opposite pole. So in order to attract a negative thing, you have to have the positive next to it, right? You can't put two negatives next to each other. So it's kind of backwards from the way law of attraction works. Law of attraction works from the standpoint that we attract more of what we are. It's universe, energy all around us. We're emanating energy as well based off of what we're thinking about, what we're believing, what we're focusing on. All of these things are kind of how we affect our magnet. Maybe it's how we steer it, but it's not. It's really multi-directional, at least that's the way I like to think of it. But it's what we put into our energetics that attracts similar things to us. So, if you want to attract more of something, then you need to try to figure out a way to create that energy in you. Now, a lot of people are like, well, I'm trying to attract being in a relationship with someone I don't know. How would I know what it's like to be with that person? How do I know what it would feel like? Or I'm trying to attract more money to my life, I'm trying to put more income into my wallet. What would that feel like if I did that? How would I know? Like, what does money in my wallet feel like other than a fat wallet, which I could do that with a bunch of ones? Come on. That's not necessarily more income, though that's the way our brains work sometimes. Yeah, maybe it's a stack of ones. Why not make it a stack of hundreds? You're like, I can't even fold my wallet closed. There's so many hundreds in there. It's crazy. But what would that feel like? And that's really one of the key ingredients is how we're feeling is really what we're attracting, period. You can be grumpy at moments, that's fine, and you can be super happy at moments, that's fine, but where are you a majority of the time? Where are you a majority of the time? I get you do your work in the morning, and I get while you're driving home, you're cursing everybody and their mother. But it's the rest of the day that truly affects what we're sending out. So again, we can ask the universe with our imagining, with all the law of attraction techniques that we all know. You can imagine, you can live in the end, you can act as if, you can do all these things. 55 times, 5, there's so many of them. And it's surprising I can't just rattle off more of them, frankly, but there's just too many of them, frankly. So you can try fill in blank technique here. And what that does is that helps with the mental part. The mental part's the asking. The mental part's like, all right, universe, that's what I want. That's what I want. Help me out with that. Then the energy part, that's the part that's like throughout the day is what's attracting and vibing stuff towards you. So we'll get back to the point of how do I imagine what it feels like to be something? Because the feeling really is the energetics. That's why we always talk about try to feel it. Try to get all your senses involved. All of your senses are going to help kind of create this reality inside your mind that will help you feel what it would be like. Now, the step that I think is really important, I bring it up a lot, and I don't see it as much. Certainly, many people are talking about it. I'm nothing fancy there. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of us are like, all right, so I'm imagining being with her. I'm imagining being with him. Oh, yeah, it's kind of glowy. It feels good. You know, tear. Oh, I love you. Mwah, right? Like, that's, okay, cool. We got that feeling going. Where I think it's different, what I think is the difference, and what I think actually affects our energy in the bigger term is when we take it that step further in that so I'm going to use the relationship thing right now as an example, right? So I'm trying to get Sue in my life. I want more of Sue. Sue sees it. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of Sue. I want her to see me seeing it, seeing her, right? So it's from Glee for any of you that ever see it. Sue Sylvester, that's how she sees it. And if you haven't seen the show, don't need to. It's not really that good unless you like singing and stuff. It's fantastic otherwise. But love it. Anyway, it's your fault I went off track, not mine. So, trying to imagine what it's like to be in love with Sue, but not just that. But if I'm in love with Sue and then now we're together and we're hanging out, so what does that mean? What does it mean if I'm with Sue? Not the one from Glee, because that's a little frightening, but she's funny. I mean, that would be cool. But trying to see what my life would be like with Sue. Well, I love her, definitely, cool. So I would feel that sense of love, awesome. I'm going to feel that sense of comfort because she also loves me, and I'm going to know that because that's super important. All right, that feels good to love. I can feel that anytime. Now, what does that really start to feel like when it's like, all right, I'm at work, it's 2:30, it's been one of those kind of days, right, where you're just like, I am ready to go. And you start to think about, cool, have dinner together. What are we gonna have? Like, what are we gonna make for dinner? We'll make enchiladas tonight. That sounds really good, actually, yummy. And then, who knows? Maybe we'll do some fresh tortillas. We'll do some sort of mixed green salads or kale salad or something disgusting. I don't like kale, frankly, so whatever. Kale's a garnish, for crying out loud. I know it's healthy, whatever. So you start thinking about all the little different nuances that go into your relationship now that it's real with Sue. It's not just feeling her, I love you. It's not just that. What happens when you're together? What is going on in your life? What are the thoughts? That is truly living in the end, by the way, is when you truly think about it from all those standpoints, when you create that understanding in your mind, like, oh, my Lord, I got to make room in the garage. There's no way she's going to be able to park her car. I've got all that crap over on that one side. Or, oh, my God, I've got all this stuff under the bed. When she figures that out, there's no way that's going to be good. I need to get that straightened up. I need to clean my room, as Jordan Peterson says, on someone that's kind of fun to listen to. Right? Even though he's crazy to many. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. I listen to all walks. There's people of everywhere I listen to. It's fun. A lot of fun. So when we can put that extra oomph into it, when we can put that extra level of understanding of this is what it's going to be like. Maybe I got a new job. So I got a new job. Now what's going on? Where I'm at lunch. I'm working at a different place. Where am I going to lunch? What are the places I'm going to lunch at? Who am I going to lunch with? Is there anyone that I know? Any good friends that are maybe in that area that I can imagine having lunch with? Is there a route home? What's that drive going to be like? Do I take the train now? Is it still taking a drive? Do I maybe carpool? What is my life like? And what that does is that creates an additional level of realism to it. It creates an additional level of something in your mind that you can focus it on it. I mean, I know there's still potentially going to be that doubter portion of yourself, but you're like, nah, but man, this whole thing's like, I'm building it. Like, you're almost too busy building and seeing this world than having time to think about how you don't have it right now, right? Because you're too busy saying, nah, let's add another little piece to it. So What about holidays, vacations, right? So the girl, back to Sue, how she sees it. If I have a day off of work, what's that mean? Does she have a day off of work too? Yeah, she works a similar kind of job as I do. So we'd take the day off, maybe do something fun. Maybe we'd go down to the beach if it's the right kind of year. Maybe we'll go to the amusement park. Nah, bad idea if it's the day off for everybody else. But maybe it's a day we took off together, right? Now you go, now you can start to fine tune this little story a little bit. And you're like, well, no, we took a Wednesday off. Her and I both did. Used the day off just to get the hell out of the office. Going to Disneyland, right? Like that. I got something now that I can imagine another little scenario to it and how much fun that'll be and like different rides I'd go on and, like Matterhorn, she sits in, actually, it's not like it used to be where you had kind of like bench seats. You could actually wrap your arms around them. Maybe the log ride, right? There's some of those fun rides, right? You start to think about these things and these are the thought process. Now, as I'm thinking through this stuff, it's very real in my mind. It's happening in my mind. It is a reality. I am imagining her and I doing something that'd be very fun to do, that would make memories for sure. That definitely means we're together, right? Like all of the little, I want to go on a first date is covered. I'm way past that in the sense of building the scope of what this relationship is or this new income. I'm making more money. What does that mean? Do I have a new house, new car, new life? Again, imagining where I'm going to lunch, who I'm hanging out with. Am I dressing differently? Imagine all the components. And to circle this fully back around, by doing all of that imaginal work, one, yes, you're doing the asking, you're doing the seeing, but yes, you are also creating a sense of what it would feel like. What it feels like to have that thing that you don't have. You don't have to see it clearly per se. It's not an issue of that as much as thinking about it. Thinking about it, troubleshooting through the different scenarios, much like packing for a trip. Right? If you forget something, worst case scenario, you can buy it when you're there, right? If you're camping, it's going to suck pretty badly, right? You're just not going to brush your teeth for 4 days. That's not the best thing, but whatever. There's probably natural things you can do with plants, right? Whatever. As an example. But packing's kind of something similar. You're thinking about the trip. You have no idea what the hell's actually going to go on. You don't know what you're going to feel like on the trip. You still got to pack for it. You still got to try to think about all the crap I'm probably going to need stuff for. Am I going to swim or not swim? Do I need a bathing suit? What toiletries do I need? What toiletries don't I need? Am I actually going to do my hair? Should I take my curling iron? Nah, I'm not going to curl my hair. Should I take nail polish? I'm not going to do my nails. I did it before I went. I'm only gone 4 days. Good Lord. Or I'm camping. What the hell am I worried about doing my nails for? Right? Whatever. Of course, everybody knows grizzly bears love red. The color red's beautiful. They want to eat you because you have red nail polish. I'm just telling you. That's just a fact. It's not true. I made that up right now. Just saying. What I'm saying is what we're feeling is what we're attracting. What we're seeing is what we're asking for. What we're focusing on is what we're asking for. What we're feeling is what we are attracting. So I'm focused on this. This is what I want to attract. But I'm feeling negative, which isn't really that. So I'm going to attract something that's similar, but not. And it'll be negative. It'll be opposite. It'll be, right? But I'm still asking the universe, I want that, but I don't feel right for it. Or I do want that, and we'll start to attract stuff like I was talking about in my other video. Maybe you'll start seeing very similar things. Maybe your best friend's suddenly dating somebody. Maybe you went on a dating site and happened to date somebody that was pretty cool and looked similar to her and actually had the same first name, but something was just quite right. Like, you're almost there, right? A lot of these things can come into play as we're moving towards the thing we want. Now, one thing that's super important, again, once we got that dialed in, once we figured out, it's just an issue of trying to feel like it, just imagine it best you can, however you can. There's a lot of ways to really get into the details. Again, it's like packing. You don't know what you're going to do. Start thinking about it. Start imagining. Start planning. It's your life. It's your story to write. Plan. Think about it. What do you want? Talk about it. Let's start putting a story together. It's fun. And then on top of that, you feel better. It's awesome. And oh, no, wait, hang on. Did I just say feel better? I did. Oh. Goodness gracious, I think that's going to help your manifestation. As a magnet, it's going to make you stronger. Whoa, no, this is crazy how this all works. I know. And then what's funny, too, about all this is an extremely abundant universe. Whatever you put focus on, whatever you believe in, all that stuff, like whatever you're manifesting, be it negative or positive, It happens in abundance. It's not that abundant universe doesn't mean that there's gobs of money everywhere and there's gobs of resources. It's not that. It's abundant in the sense that I can get any one of those resources in abundance easily. It's how it works. It's abundant. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. A lot of people are like, what about money? Money's going to fix. All right, well, let's talk about money. Money is used to acquire things generally, correct? Not just walking around and flashing it and fanning yourself with it, because I can come up with other ways to do that are far cheaper. Money is a means to an end. Not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It's a means to something. So I could manifest those somethings without money. Don't necessarily need the money. So it's abundant. It's abundant universe. I can get the thing without the thing that I see as a limitation. You don't necessarily have to have money to acquire things. Now, a new job is fun, but what's more important in a new job is actually feeling good about what you're doing. I said feeling again. Oh my God, what is wrong with you, Dan? I don't know. I seriously don't know. And yes, I talk to myself like this all the time. It's an abundant universe, and we're going to continue to get constantly whatever we ask for, whatever we're feeling, whatever we're thinking about, whatever we're vibrating at. Because it's our field of dreams. I had to look it up. So everything around us abundantly is happening. What is super duper important to take away as I finish off, and this is really the cool part. If you made it this far in the video, good on you, because this is the sweet spot right here. Tomorrow is created by your today. What you're doing today is going to show tomorrow. What you're doing right now will show tomorrow, which means you're going to get results quickly. Maybe not, they need to call me, they're going to write me, they're going to text me. No. What are you focused on? Stay focused. Get out there where the thing is happening. Don't worry about the minutia. Don't worry about if they write you a letter. Don't worry if they show up at your door. Don't worry about that. I mean, unless you're trying to manifest them showing up at your door, but then you're still very short-sighted. You're not getting the big picture. Imagine the thing that you're trying to do. Let the stepping stones, let the pieces fall as where they may. But what I'm saying is you will see them tomorrow. Tomorrow, you've got a reason to wake up and go, oh, goody, what is happening today? What do I get to see today? What are you showing me today? Because I'm creating that, and I know I'm taking steps towards it. What's in my scenery today? I'm excited to see. And I'll tell you what, when you wake up realizing that today is what I just created yesterday, and I did some awesome stuff yesterday, today is going to be more of it, even better. Whatever better is. Relative term. I know. Nothing's better, worse. It's not like that. But it's going to be towards where I'm trying to go, which in my mind's better. That's a good thing. I like that. It's towards where I'm trying to go. That's a step in the right direction. That sounds like better. Again, detours are nice because you learn stuff along the way. But I sidetrack so easily. Your tomorrow is based off your today. It's that easy to start changing your world, is to start changing your right now. You change your right now, you look in the mirror and you deal with that person right there. And your tomorrow is already better. And if you keep doing that, you'll keep noticing your tomorrow keeps taking you in the direction you've been focusing on abundantly. And stuff will come in ways you didn't even see, that you didn't even think about, that if you had to plan it all over, you wouldn't even know to ask for it. But it will blow your mind every single time. Even for me, seeing things that happen all the time, it's awesome when it does. I'll just chuckle. It's like, that was totally that other thing. I love it. Like, and you look around, you're like, frick, nobody knows what the hell I just did, but it's okay. It was for me. So again, some people say, what, does your world revolve around you? And it's like, yeah, it kind of does. Sort of does. Your world should revolve around you. And that's how it works. It's abundantly happening all around you. So make tomorrow way more fun. Make tomorrow something that you look forward to. Make tomorrow something that you realize, dude, I can change this today, right now. And watch what my tomorrow is. Watch how your tomorrow improves. A whole lot of things are at worst tomorrow away. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And even if tomorrow's going to be in the same bad bummer place or same health issues, same woes, how we look at it, how we feel about it, and how we treat it can change, which then changes our tomorrow significantly. So maybe you can't change something. Maybe you're troubled in some way that's just not easily going to resolve itself like that. That's fine. But how you see it can change. And once you see something differently, that changes the whole experience of it completely. Change your tomorrow by changing your today. And you will be amazed at all the beautiful things you attract in your field of dreams. It's all around you. It's your dream to imagine. What do you want? Hopefully this makes a difference for you. If you like what you've got going on, please subscribe, share, comment, thumbs up. All that great stuff helps support my channel beyond words. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much. It's Dan RadioStyle.